Welcome back to the channel. We are here in Victoria, Texas at a 3-round tournament, playing this course completely blind. So this is going to be a very interesting 3-round tournament. So the first round layout is a shotgun start on all shorts. The second round is also a shotgun start on all longs. And then the third round they're playing like a weird mixture of shorts and longs. So I'm not really sure about which holes are which. I guess I'll just find out with my card mates. But driving in, it looked pretty open. It looks like it's gonna be kind of difficult, kind of easy. You gotta hit some lines, but there are some really open bomber holes, so that's good for my game that I like to play. But yeah, stay tuned and we'll get you through the first 2 rounds today, and then tomorrow is the final round tee time. Starting out, we are going to be on Fox Bend hole 8, which is one of the 2 holes that were added to this course. 420-foot par 3. We just want to get something up there because I don't really have the distance with such a low ceiling. I end up about 50 or so feet short. I was trying to decide between throwing the armadillo and just jump putting with my putter. I decided to jump putt, leave it right to the left of the basket for about a 10-foot tap-in par. Now we're back onto the original hole 16 of the course, 685-foot par 4. You want to make it through the trees up here. Sadly, I hit a tree and kicked straight down. You see me asking here if that's the basket up at the point of those trees through the middle gap, right in the center of your screen. I have about another 330 feet or so. I'm throwing my mid-range, the Ranger here. Sadly, I hit another tree. I just pick up and throw again, trying to leave it wide left and let it hyzer in towards the end. If you look at the bottom left corner of your screen here, you can see the pavement. I thought I was out of bounds for a second, but I ended up skipping over and leaving myself with about a 50-foot look for par, so I take my first bogey of the round here with a 20-foot comeback putt. Hole 17, 365-foot par 3, very easy, straightforward. I'm throwing the lariat here. I want to hyzer flip it, but it just flipped and then kept turning over. I do get the distance, but I'm about 25 to 30 feet to the left of the pin. So I have this look here for birdie. Sadly, I don't really give it a good look, so I have a 20-footer for comeback par. I forgot to mention we are playing the shorts for this round. This is a 320-foot par 3. Basket is to the right side of the big tree here through the gap. I'm just going to throw a long turnover line. That leaves me with about a 30-foot look with the ditch behind the basket. It's not OB, but it does leave ample opportunity for rollaway. And I just leave it left. Give myself about a 15-foot uphill look for par. Now we're over to hole 1, straight shot, 300 feet. I'm throwing the Ranger, and I just leave it on way too much hyzer. You could probably see the basket flapping up there in the wind. I get pin high, but I'm just way off to the right, about 60 feet. So I just try to give it a flex look, leave it too far to the left. Easy tap in par. Hole 2, 550-foot par 4. Try to get something to flip up on me, but put too much hyzer on it and throw it nose up, so it stalls. Second shot, throw the Ranger, and again, just leave it on too much hyzer. Pin high again for birdie, but about 60 feet. Leave it to the right, easy 15-foot tap in par. Hole 3, 260-foot par 3. I want to throw it straight down the gap here, but I pull it way left. Thankfully, I get a very nice skip back out into the fairway, so I just take my armadillo and pitch it up underneath the basket. Easy tap in par. Hole 4, 216 feet, throwing the arrowhead again, hit first available, very unlucky. I take the armadillo, try to just nudge it underneath the basket and just turf it. So now I have a 35, 40 foot look for par, and I leave it short, so that's another bogey. Hole 5, 260 foot, par 3. These are holes I really should be birdieing, but for some reason my putting is really bad this whole tournament. I'm trying to throw the Ranger on a hyzer line, but this time it doesn't hyzer, it flips up and goes straight. The last 2 times I threw it, it went very hard to the right. I leave myself with a 25 foot comeback for birdie. No good, so an easy tap in, par. Hole 6, 645 foot par 4, all the way down there next to that, past that big tree. Just want to get something out there past those first light pole. I do get it, and I'm underneath this tree, which is prime positioning. Throwing the Ranger again. This time I finally throw it how I want to throw it, and it leaves me with a great look for birdie. I have a chance to take strokes on the card here with a 20 foot look for birdie. And I just don't give it enough air. Drop in, par. Hole 7 is an island hole. You want to make it past those 2 trees, and I hit the first one right in the middle. So I go to the drop zone, which is a 45 foot putt, OB behind and to the left. Looks like it's gonna go in, and it hits the front of the cage. Thankfully it doesn't roll OB. Another bogey, it puts me at 3 over. Hole 8, downhill between those 2 trees. The basket is nestled through, and I pull the shot hard left, trying to overpower it. So I have about a 250 foot approach, and I turf that one as well, just like I did earlier. Right at this point, I'm just trying to save a bogey. I'm just going to take my armadillo and try to put it underneath the basket. Sadly, I early release it, and it leaves me with a 35 foot look for bogey, and I hit the top of the cage. Tap in, double bogey. It puts me at 5 over through 12 holes. Now we're on to hole 9, 350 foot par 3. I'm trying to do what I did on an earlier hole. Hyzer flip turn with a fade at the end with the lariat. Underestimated the tailwind we were having here, and it never flips up. I end up way off to the right. Thankfully I skip up and hit this car instead of going into the road. So I'm going to take my walker and just pitch out and around this tree next to the basket for an easy tap in par save. Hole 10, 350 foot par 3. The basket is down in that clump of trees all the way at the end there, so I'm throwing a long turnover line. It looks really good out of the hand, feels nice. You see me move out to the right. Unfortunately, I hit the branches right in front of me and rolled down the hill. I try to pitch something up to the bottom, and I kick up and roll back down the hill again. 25 foot uphill look for par, and I crush it. That was probably the best putt of the day. Hole 11, 290 foot par 3, again straight up the gut, out of the hand, feels perfect, absolutely amazing. I'm finally feeling like I'm starting to throw well at this point in the round. 25 foot look for birdie, and I leave it out to the left. The putting woes were really starting to get to me, even though I was driving well. I'm still 5 over. Here is a catch cam shot because it was a blind hole. Hard left, I throw a turnover, get a nice kick off some branches, or I was going to turn into the OB. Leave me with another 25 foot look for birdie, and pull it left again. You can see my frustration there. I end up with a drop-in par, which is okay. Par is fine. Hole 13, 200 foot, up and over this big bush straight in front of the tee pad. Leaves me with a 20-foot look for birdie, and this feels really good on the head. Nice birdie putt. Hole 14, 573 foot par 4. There's road down the left side all the way down there. The basket is back behind the fence of a baseball field. You want to leave something either to the right or flick something over the road. I leave something off to the right. Wasn't feeling confident on the flicks over the road. Wanted to leave something underneath these branches, and that's exactly what I do. I feel really good about that shot. Leaves me with about a 35-foot putt for birdie. I'm asking my card if I'm outside circle. And again, the putting is just not there for me today. Another tap in par. Hole 15, 300 foot par 3. That shot, I early release way to the right. I get a skip. I end up getting pin high, but I am about 50 feet to the right. You can kind of see it, branches hanging down in my face. I have to try to sneak it underneath it, but I just throw it right into it. Another drop in par. This is the last hole. This is the 9th hole of the second course on the property. 330 foot par 3. I want to throw the same shot I threw on the hole previously, but I overcompensate and I turn it over. This ends up being my first forehand of the round because I wasn't feeling confident in it in warm-ups, and I absolutely pure the line from about 200 feet out to a drop-in par. Here are my scores for the first round. Appreciate you guys for watching, and be on the lookout for the second round video.